I have a lot to say in today's episode, and I'm in one of those Alex moods where I am ready to do some truth telling, and I think that this is going to be the perfect way to end the week. So let's go, boys.
Let's do this.
150 celebrities and public figures wrote an open letter condemning cancel culture, and it's one of the most important stories from the week. The media is claiming Kanye West is manic, and Colton, Underwood, and Cassie, Randolph are not having an amicable breakup after all. I'm AlexClark, and this is POPlitics. There was an open letter that was written for Harpers Magazine and signed by 150 liberal public figures like J.K. Rowling, the writer of The Handmaid's Tale, Margaret Atwood, and Gloria Steinem, condemning cancel culture. Quite frankly, I think this is the biggest story of the week, and I am strongly encouraging you to read it in its entirety, so I'm going to put it up in the swipe up on our Instagram story. The letter warns that limiting the exchanging of ideas, public ostracization, and intolerance of opposing views will harm the most vital causes of our time. That stifling conversation and discussion, whether by a repressive government or an intolerant society, invariably hurts those who lack power and makes everyone less capable of democratic participation.
That's the way you do it.
The letter also condemns the hasty and disproportionate punishments against editors, writers, journalists, professors, researchers, and others who have covered controversial topics or make clumsy mistakes.
Can you give me another chance?
Full disclosure, this letter also says some negative things about our current administration, but that's the thing. And I think that's the entire point of this letter, which is don't stifle open debate, freedom of thought, and speech.
The last I heard, free speech still exists.
I wanted to make sure that I mentioned the Harpers Magazine letter today to give you hope and remind you that there is a difference between liberals and leftists. And conservatives have a lot more in common with liberals than you think. We both want to protect free speech. We may have different ideas in how big the government should be or on gun control and abortion, but conservatives and liberals still want to see our basic liberties defended at all costs. Leftists do not. They want to completely uproot and dismantle everything we know and love about America, and they don't care who they run over on their way to get there, including you, your families, and your livelihoods.
I'm sending lines back to the river. I want to save you. Let's get out of here.
The fact that so many big names left of center were willing to call out these radicals on their own side means that the awakening is starting, and we just got to push through this. We can do it. Come on!
Nothing is over until we decide it is.
I saw a lot of headlines yesterday from entertainment news and pop culture outlets fueling rumors that the entire Kardashian and Jenner family thinks Kanye is having a bipolar manic episode. And that's what all his latest announcements and aha moments have really been about. I am not garlic, so don't you dare mince my words. This is bull.
You expect me to believe all this?
There are certain red pills or truth bombs that the left actively tries to expel from the culture because they know if you control the culture, you control the voters and ultimately people's minds. You want to know how we stay winning? Through the culture. Because, as the great Andrew Breitbart said, politics is all downstream from there. So when cultural heavyweights like Kanye West disrupt their plans and start speaking truth on things like Planned Parenthood and abortion that the left has actively tried to suppress from culture for years, I think their plan of defense is to blame this man's mental illness struggles and make a cheap shot by insinuating he's just crazy.
He really did lose his marbles, didn't he?
Yeah, he lost them good.
I don't think his family is saying any of this crap, and I think it's all fake news. Why would Kim retweet his announcement expressing a desire to be president with an American flag emoji if she thought that he was doing it all purely out of emotional distress?
Don't believe me, just watch.
And after it seemed like former Bachelor Colton Underwood and Cassie Randolph were going to have a perfectly clean breakup, turns out it's not really the case.
Okay, this is ridiculous. We need to talk about the elephant in the room.
Colton posted that he found clarity after reflecting on his breakup from Cassie, and Cassie went off on him on Instagram stories, saying that she was frustrated because they were not supposed to talk about their breakup publicly. Then she said, on Monday evening, you informed me that you intend to monetize our breakup by writing a new chapter to discuss your experience with COVID, where you stayed in my family's house during your recovery and about our breakup. You have also refused refused to give me any sort of approval on the chapter you will be writing, which will heavily feature me. This seems a bit unfair to me. Colton, you can do what you want, but please do not have a double standard. Can everyone please relax?
Everybody be cool. You be cool.
I'm sorry, but the right answer is not that he owes her a read-through of the bonus chapter that he wants to write for his book, and he is totally within his right to share that if he wants. The correct response, if she's mad about that, would be to write her own book and say what she wants. Then both sides of the story are out in the open, and you both make some money off of your breakup, because why the heck not? Am I on my own island here? She seems a little bit off the rails to me, and frankly, it's not cute.
Hey, my husband.
Calm down.
We all have
In my mind, we have a little scale of different types of episodes within the POPlitics world, and today was one of those episodes that I feel like is a little bit more conversation than just one-liners. And while I do love both types, sometimes I really just like when we can talk like this and I can get some things off my chest, because that's what friends do, you know?
Squad goals.
I also think this is one of those episodes that works really well on the podcast version of the show. Subscribe to POPlitics on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. Make sure you leave us a 5-star review. And before you ride off into the sunset, like this episode. Tell me in the comments if you think Cassie deserves to read the chapter first, or if Colton is free to write and do whatever he wants. And share this episode to your stories. I'll see you Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, Cinnamon Roll Queen. Pop culture without the propaganda every single day. I'm AlexClark, and this is POPlitics. Please subscribe, thumbs up, share this video, and ring the bell for notifications so you never miss the conservative. And make sure you're following this show at POPlitics on Instagram for even more CUTEservative content. Click below to watch yesterday's episode.